Fifth graders, thanks for tuning in today. I'm going to be going over with you quadrilaterals, which is just a fancy word for anything that has four sides and it's a shape, and all the four sides somehow connect with each other. That's quadrilateral. We're going to go over both activities 5 and 6. So this week we'll end with activity 5, and then Monday we'll pick up with activity 6. So if you are confused when you get to Monday, come back to this video and it should help you. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and screen share with you. And here's the different shapes I want to talk to you about today. And some of these might be review, and some of these might be a magical new shape that you just learned about today. So first one I'm hoping is a review for you, a square. And what's so fancy about the beautiful square is that every single angle makes up a right angle, which remember in my last video I talked about how a right angle, if you go like this, you've made a right angle. And all the side lengths are the same. So squares have 4 right angles and they have 4 equal sides. So that's the fancy thing about a square. Now I'm going to go into rectangle. A rectangle is like a square's cousin. So a rectangle has 2 pairs of equal sides. So this side is equal to this side and this side is equal to this side. And if you look closely, all the angles still make that right angle. So I would say for a rectangle, it still has 4 right angles and it has 2 pairs of equal sides. Okay, now I'm jumping down one more step into this fancy thing called a parallelogram. So a parallelogram, if I'm going to draw it, I take a rectangle and I kind of just flatten it out, like I push the top of the rectangle, and it just basically makes a rectangle that's kind of smushed. So here's like a picture of it. It's like a tilted rectangle in my opinion. So what it's doing is you still have your pairs of equal sides. So this side is parallel to this side, and this side is parallel to this side. Parallel means that there are any 2 lines that run in the same direction without touching each other. So let me pull up parallel lines. Here's parallel lines. They don't touch and they run in the same direction. Here is parallel. So in this case, it has 2 pairs of parallel sides, but it lost its ability to have right angles because this is obviously not a right angle and this is not a right angle. So it no longer has right angles, but it has 2 sets of parallel sides. Okay, my next one is a rhombus. I'm going to pull up some pictures of a rhombus. In kindergarten, or maybe in now, you might have called a rhombus a kite because it's got like a simple, if you put like a tail on the end of this, it could be a kite. Or if you flip it in a certain angle, it could be a diamond as well. So rhombuses look very similar to kites or diamonds. I think I have one more picture I can pull up for you. This is also a rhombus. So the fancy thing with a rhombus, it has 2 sets of parallel sides, just like your parallelogram, but all of them have to be the same length. So this is the same side as this, is the same side of this. So all these sides are equal. It's just kind of shifted over. This I like to think of as a square, but you've kind of smushed the top of it so it tilts over. So a rhombus has 2 pairs of parallel sides, all the same length. Okay, the next one is trapezoid. So I always think of a trapezoid as it has usually one skinny side on top, one small side on top, and one longer side on the bottom, but it doesn't always end up that way. So here's our trapezoid. And a dead giveaway for a trapezoid is it only has 1 pair of parallel sides, only 1 pair that run alongside each other that don't meet. Because these 2, if you draw them out, eventually will cross, so they're not necessarily parallel. So the only definition specifically defining a trapezoid for our concern is 1 pair of parallel sides. So there is our definition of all the basic shapes we'll be learning today. And I'm just going to go through, you guys have to label, it looks like 6 shapes. I'm just going to give you the first couple just to kind of get you going. So shape A looks exactly like a diamond. And remember how I said a diamond is instantly a rhombus? It has 2 pairs of parallel sides, all are the same length. B has that skinny top and the longer bottom, so it's going to be a trapezoid. C is a dead giveaway as a square because all of them have that right angle. D is the same thing as a square except for it's longer and not all the sides the same length, making it a rectangle. E is kind of like the rectangle, but it's slided kind of over a little bit, so it has 2 sets of parallel sides. That's going to be a parallelogram. And I'm going to stop there and I'm going to let you figure out the rest. And for activity 6, it's asking you questions about shapes. So the first question it's asking is, how many sides does a quadrilateral have? I answered that in the beginning of this video. A quadrilateral is anything that has 4 sides. It's got 4 lines that somehow intersect and make some type of shape. Okay, I go down, should help you answer most of your questions. Yeah, that should answer most of your questions. Alrighty, I look forward to your submissions on either Google Forms or taking pictures of your work for me. If you have any questions, make sure you contact me. Bye, guys.